I work, so I'm from the UK. I work for Oracle. I've worked for Oracle since 2005, when the company that I worked for was acquired, and I planned to stay for about 6 months, and I'm still at Oracle. So I work in Oracle. I work as a cloud architect, so that's working with our customers and partners to help them build and run applications on the cloud. That's a good question, and the answer is it depends. It depends what you want to do. So I had a colleague who works, he's got a telco billing application, who came up to me not so long ago and was going, I want to re-architect this application into microservices and functions. And I was like, why do you want to do that? He was like, the architecture's looking dated. Do you know, is it not doing something, or is it not capable of doing something that you're being asked to do? No. In which case, you know, have a cup of tea, sit down, leave it alone. You've got a working application and happy customers. There's no need to take a risk. In terms of going forward, when people are building new applications, I think they should consider a function-based approach. And in terms of functions themselves, they should be short and sharp. They should, you know, be quite small. So what we need to do is we need to be able to compose them together to deliver, you know, as you say, rich interactions between the business and its customers. In FN, the way that we've approached this is we have something called FN Flow, which is where you effectively write conductor functions that will orchestrate the activity of the other functions. And in my talk, I gave the example that you could have FN effectively act as your travel agent and book you a flight and book you a hotel and book you a car. And if any part of that process fails, then it will cancel the other bits. So you will either wind up with your whole trip booked or nothing booked and everything's been cancelled. So there are ways to compose things together. We have other people who are using FN. There's a company called Automate, and they're actually embedding FN into their own domain-specific serverless platform that they're building for blockchain users and IoT users. So I think there is a richness, and again, it's, you know, an argument for open source. There's a richness in what's there already, and other people are able to then extend that or build on top of it, provided it's open source. I think that there is a place in the market for open source serverless offerings, and they won't be suitable for everybody. But by the same token, the closed source ones that you take, say, from AWS or from Google or from Microsoft, may not be appropriate for everybody. So if you are somebody who explicitly, and we work with people who this is absolutely vital for them, want to run a decentralized serverless environment where you have functions running on Azure, you have functions running on AWS, you have functions running on Oracle Cloud, and you have others running on premises, you're not going to be able to do that, I don't think, unless you use a serverless platform that can be run anywhere. And as far as I know, the only ones that you can do that with are the open source ones. I believe that serverless is going to become the dominant way that we write new workload, you know, new pieces of software going forward, because it's easier to aggregate small things together generally than it is to split big things apart. So the cost of starting out with a small set of functions is pretty low compared with the cost of building something big and then trying to split it up. There will be cases where serverless is not the right way to go. So if you are, you know, if for you it's absolutely critical that, you know, your invocation gets an immediate response, then serverless might not be the right way for you to go, because there's always going to be some element of latency. If you have workflows that are what I would call tidal, so there's a regular rise and fall, serverless may be appropriate, it may not. You may find that microservices work better for you. If you've got something that's constant load, again, microservices or even a monolith may serve your needs better. But particularly where you have less predictable, spiky workloads, and you can tolerate the fact that the first time you invoke a function, there's going to be some latency, then I think serverless is a good way to go. Generally speaking, with the serverless platforms, it's that first invocation that's the longest one, because that stuff's being spun up. But for example, with FN, after your function has finished running, the function container persists by default 30 seconds. So if another invocation comes in that time, you don't pay the cost twice for using the same function. I think it's brilliant. I think you guys have done an absolutely fantastic job. You couldn't ask for a nicer setting. We couldn't have asked for better weather. The food's been pretty good. The vibe has been great. There's been a lot of excitement. The talks I've seen have been really informative and good. No, I think this has been a great event.